Hi, welcome back to Piston Broke. As you can see, I'm not in the workshop this week with Jim and Dotty. That's because I stayed over in Germany because one of my children had to have a very small operation. Everything's fine, it was all planned, and he's making a great recovery. He'll be back out of bed and full of energy any day soon. What it does mean though is I'm going to leave you in the wonderful hands of Jim whilst he just tries to complete some of the tasks which stumped us during our last video. As you remember, we covered so much. We got the indicators, fitted the new bulbs, but they were temperamental and then the hazards wouldn't work. And we struggled with that. Well, in the last week, Jim has really put in a load of effort and energy, and he's found a solution. So grab yourself a cup of tea and join Jim with Dotty as he fixes the indicator issues and also does a couple of other little improvements which we hope you'll enjoy. All the best, and I can't wait to get back over to Dotty and Jim very soon.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Piston Broke with me, Jim, and Dotty, our 1977 Project MG Midget. So I'm back in the workshop, and I just wanted to film a little follow-up video to the lighting video that we put out a week or so ago. So for those of you that remember, when we acquired Dotty, she had a bit of a mismatched set of light bulbs, some incandescent, some LED. The hazard lights didn't work properly, the indicators worked intermittently. So Matt decided that what he wanted to do was replace all of the bulbs with a full cast set of modern LED bulbs. They're brighter, safer, better lighting. Anything we can do to make Dotty more visible is a good thing. They also use less power. They're a little bit more reliable. They're less susceptible to poor quality earthing and other kind of electrical issues than some of the old incandescent bulbs. So if you remember, I worked my way around the car and I spent some time removing each light assembly, cleaning it up, cleaning all the lenses. I replaced gaskets that were variously missing or had just become so dried out and brittle. Some were covered in overspray and generally weren't stopping road dirt, muck, rainwater from getting into the light unit. So I worked all my way around, replaced all of the bulbs, and we went for the grand switch on, and it didn't work. So we ended the video there slightly disappointingly, and I went away, scratched my head a little bit to try and work out the solution as to what was going wrong. So when I say it wasn't working, some things did work. The hazard lights all worked fine. The indicators, still the same issue. When you selected either left or right turn signal, the light came on and stayed on. It wasn't flashing. Also, another fault presented itself in that the flasher relay that we fitted was being permanently powered. So as soon as you turned the ignition on, the flasher relay was ticking away all the time. Caused a little bit of a head scratching moment. So I had a chat to the supplier of the LED bulbs, and I should say at this point, the product that they supplied was not the issue, but he did give me a couple of good pointers to look at. The kit that was supplied, a full car set with relays, we were told was absolutely plug and play, and to be fair, it absolutely was. It's a really straightforward replacement, and I really can't recommend enough to anybody else considering doing it. It really is straightforward. So back to the fault, what was causing the problem. So those of you that will have watched some of these videos will know electrical diagnostics is not my strong point. So I placed a call to my all-round electrical guru and general electron genius, my big brother Duncan, who fantastic guy, was able to kind of talk me through even my idiot attempts to operate a voltmeter. And basically he was able to remotely diagnose the fault through my hands prodding and poking various bits of wiring. So it turned out that the fault was within the indicator switch on the steering column. So when we got Dotty, the steering column, the cowl, had actually been removed, which kind of makes me think somebody maybe had been having a go at trying to fix this in the past. So we fitted a new indicator switch assembly. It was about £30 from one of the major MG parts suppliers. Worked absolutely fine. I did take some time to strip each lighting unit down again and check all of the earths, check all the bulb connections again, which is a bit of a tedious process, which is why I didn't film it. I was a little bit demoralized at that point, but it was well worth doing, and everything works now. So we'll replace that. I did also replace the hazard light switch. Again, I don't think that actually was at fault, but seeing as the wiring for the indicators passed through the hazard light switch before going on to onto the indicator stalk, it was thought that possibly there could be a fault within the switch. It's only £10 to replace the switch. So I thought, well, why not? The old one was a little bit scratched up and so on. So, you know, while I'm spending Matt's money, I'll spend another £10. So I bought a new switch and put that on. So the car is now working. All of the lights and everything work. I was going to show you this morning by doing a walk around, but it's a really bright sunny day. So I think what I'm probably going to do is do a little film clip at the end of the day when it's dark so that you can really see the difference. So one thing I did want to do, again, just to kind of improve the overall cosmetic look, both Matt and I felt that the orange indicators didn't really go with the look of the car that we were looking for. So these are the original rubber bumper indicators. They're the Lucas L390. And they're found on rubber bumper midgets, rubber bumper Bs, and pre-facelift Jaguar XJSs. The earlier midget had a smaller combination side light and turn signal with a clear lens. Now I could have fitted those, but that would have required extensive kind of modification to the front wing, which I didn't really want to get into at this stage. You know, we can change the aperture size. We could even potentially have fitted the wings from a chrome bumper car. But then you got the painting issue and the making goods. So we did find online, and it actually turned out it was the same company that supplied the LED bulbs, but a clear lens kit. They are fairly expensive. They're about 5 times the price of the orange lenses, but they really do make a difference. With that in mind, when we fitted the bulbs, we decided to go for an orange flashing LED rather than a clear one. So what I'm going to do, while we're talking, I'm just going to pop the last one off. I've already done the other side. So I'll pop the old cover off. The new ones go on in just the same way. And this really makes a massive improvement. Kind of modernises the front. It gets rid of that big sort of ugly block of orange on the front there. So as I say, that's all good to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'll stop this portion of the video. I'll put the lights on so you can have a little walk round and look at how bright everything is looking, and then I'll do another little walk round again at night, so you can really appreciate the difference. So stay tuned. Thanks very much for watching. If you want to see more stuff, please do like and subscribe. Also drop us some comments below the video. We'd very much love to hear about your thoughts, how we're doing, anything you think we'd like us to feature, anything we could do better. If there's something out there you think I'm doing wrong, then do tell me. It's a learning curve for me as well. So yeah, once again, thanks very much for watching.
Waiting for, and my time was running wild, a million dead-end streets, and every time I thought I got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet.
Jim and I might be new to making videos, but we have had many great years of classic British car ownership going all the way back to our first cars. Between us, we have enjoyed several Minis, a Triumph Spitfire, a few MGBs, a Jag, and now our lovely little midget, Dotty. As you can imagine, all these little beauties did, at times, throw a tantrum, and when they did, we would often find the part we needed at MGOC Spares. MGOC Spares have a vast range of classic MG parts and accessories, and also look after the needs of MGF drivers, classic Mini, Land Rover, Morris, and many more to keep your loved one on the road for many more memories to come. So check out their website at www.mgocspares.co.uk. Piston Broke is proud to be supported by MGOC Spares. Thank you and enjoy the video.
Okay, so we've had a break in the weather now, and I'm going to have a go at swapping over the ignition coil and see if we can improve the starting and reliability of Dotty a little bit. So I've already taken the precaution of disconnecting the battery, just to make sure. Obviously this is dealing with high tension side of the electricity, quite a high voltage. Definitely don't want a shock from that. So I've already removed one of the bolts down here to enable me to take off the washer pump, which has been mounted on a bit of a homemade bracket using a bit of Dexian, a bit of handy angle by the looks of it. So we're going to have a go at seeing if we can improve that. We need to tidy up this earthing wire as well, and we'll replace the tubing, as I said earlier, with the new stuff that we got delivered. So we'll tuck that out of the way for the moment. So put my gloves back on. I've also removed the cold air ducting just to kind of improve the camera access a little bit. So I'm just going to undo the nuts here, 7/16. I was kind of hoping this was on a captive nut, but actually I think it feels like there's a nut and bolt on here. So I'll slacken this off a bit and see how we get on. There we go. So that's the old coil removed. Just going to pull the king lead off there, and we'll also take the terminals off. So remembering that when it's bolted down, the white and black will go to the terminal closest to me. So that's the ignition coil removed. We might just give the wiring and so on, the little bracket there, a bit of a clean up. Okay, so after a fair bit of jiggery and pokery, the ignition coil is now fitted. So I fitted some new cap-headed bolts and washers onto the retaining bracket, bolted the ignition coil on, and we've reconnected the terminals under here. And now just trying to get this waterproof cover on, which was a little bit difficult. So I've got a top tech here. What have I got? I've got a top tech tip here. Using one of these plastic trim tools, I'm going to use this to work my way around, and hopefully this will help me to pop the rubber cover onto the coil. So there we go. So what we'll do now, start the car up, see if it runs. Okay, so I've fitted the waterproof cover. I've reconnected the battery. That's what I forgot first. So let's start Dotty up, and hopefully she'll start up and run okay. Watch this space. Well, she starts and runs, so I'm calling that another job ticked off the list. So as promised, I'll do a quick walk round after dark or at dusk, just to show how much brighter the lights are on the car. So we've got high intensity reversing lights, LED stop tail bulbs and indicators, and also number plate light. And then coming down to the front of the car, we've got side lights and LED headlights, and again with the indicators. And walking back around this side. And all the nice bright high intensity lights on there. So we decided, as I say, to give the ignition system a full overhaul. So we've had new plugs, points, dizzy cap, rotor arm, HT leads. I fitted a new ignition coil because, which you saw in the unboxing video, because the coil was a bit rusty, a bit battered, seemed to be getting very hot as well. So we fitted a new coil just to try and make the ignition system a little bit more reliable. So let's walk back round, turn the indicators off. And yeah, the lights, as I say, really do make a huge difference at the back. We've gone for much brighter reversing lights so that it aids with reversing, obviously. Rear bumper, which we're going to cover in another video, we're going to replace with an exchange re-chromed item, because as you can see, the chrome plating has worn quite badly. But as I say, that will be coming in another video. The front bumper cleaned up really nicely. I mean, that one looks absolutely brand new, as you can see. So there, yeah, a little roundup and a conclusion at long last to the lighting. So just want to say thank you to everybody that's watched so far. Please do stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we do also now have an email address if people want to contact us directly. So it's pistonbroke@gmail.com. So yeah, feel free to drop us a message or comments in the bottom. I'd love to hear some information from you. So anyway, thank you very much, and good night from me.